Hello everyone and welcome back to my F2 2020 season in the F1 2020 game, driving the F2 2020 cars. The first round in Bahrain we managed to come away with the championship leader heading into round 2. Now we'll try to maintain that, but the Zandvoort circuit has never been one I've been particularly consistent at, so we'll have to see how it goes. But we move on to qualifying. This is our second flying lap, and we'll see if we can take pole position, something we didn't quite manage in Bahrain. Who was it then? It was PK who took pole position in Bahrain, I believe. But we'll see who comes out on top in this session. Really a lot of understeer through that right-hander, and still getting used to driving these Formula 2 cars again. It has been a little while. So I actually recorded the first episode a long time before the second one, and I was hoping they would have fixed Marcus Armstrong's flag to the New Zealand one, but it's still still hasn't been fixed. He's still got the Australian flag next to his name.
Good job. As we wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top three: Tsunoda, Dragovic, and Mick Schumacher. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow where we'll be live with all the action, and until then, goodbye.
As I completely wasn't talking about qualifying, we managed to take pole position and the 4 bonus points for that. So that's a good start to the weekend. Gives us a few extra championship points, but notably 2 of the fastest drivers from the first time out, Matsushita and Lundgaard, well down the order. So this could be an interesting one. So let's get into it and see how this next race goes out. But Felipe Drugovich will be starting alongside us.
Hello and welcome, where it's all eyes on the grid and the final preparations ahead of today's championship race.
What, Crofty? What are you doing here? This is Formula 2. Get out. Where's Alex Jakes?
4 lefts and 10 rights make up the 14 corners of the narrow and demanding Zandvoort circuit.
There he is.
Plenty of peaks and valleys over the course of the 2.6-mile lap, which will demand absolute concentration from our drivers here today. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao Alex, it's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive, and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's results with a look at the starting grid. A fantastic effort from Yuki Tsunoda yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Felipe Drugovich in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Schumacher, Aitken, Giuliano Alesi, and Ticktum, PK, Mazepin, Armstrong, Guilherme Samaya, Markelot, Joe, Jan Daruvala, and Lundgaard, Schwartzman, Sato, Eilot, and Roy Nissany, Giotto, and Nobuharu Matsushita, Galeo, and Louis Delatraz starts from the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
I have a feeling they mixed up the AI for Delatraz and Guilherme Samaya, as they say. But anyway, the strategy again is usual Formula 2 stuff, just the only 2 available compound soft tyres to the harder tyres as we go to the 5 red lights. And away we go for the feature race here in Zandvoort, and it's a pretty bad start for us, honestly, but we'll see if we can manage to hold on to the position through the first corner. We leave the space on the inside just in case, but we do manage to hold the lead as we round the first couple of corners, and we're able to hold that position through and into turn 4. We maintain the first position on the track with 21 cars chasing us down, a big field in Formula 2. I wish we had Formula 3 in order to hold 30 cars in that. That would be mad, but unfortunately that is not in the F1 games yet, but hopefully one day that can be added. But a little bit of an off-track excursion there, not a big deal. We're able to continue on, and we've gotten away from the line cleanly. Felipe Drugovich holds on to second place from Schumacher, Aitken and Ticktum. So let's see if we can just stretch away from that group of drivers, and yeah, just hopefully
That's a good start. Keep it up.
take an easy win, as we were too busy looking back there to see where we were going. But yeah, we've got away from the line well, and we've got caught up on the curb there though, on the exit onto the next straight, and we're going to be really slow here, but hopefully we'll be able to hold on to the position. I think we'll just about manage it, but yeah, we can't be making mistakes like that. The curbs can be quite brutal in these F2 cars. If you accelerate on the curb, you could really spin around quite easily, so we'll try to avoid that as much as we can. But yeah, you really lose a lot of time if you get up on the curbs in the wrong way. But a mistake there, running wide, and Drugovich is straight away trying to take the advantage around the outside. We're pinched on the inside here onto that curb. As I mentioned, we just can't get the power down on the curb. We're all over the place, and we've lost that position. Schumacher's passed as well as Aitken. Aitken might actually have a go at Schumacher, who's got to defend into the next corner. We have a little look, but there's no way we're going to make a dive from that far back on Jack Aitken. Schumacher holds on to P2. But yeah, we really messed that one up. Ticktum isn't too far behind either. So yeah, it's not been a great sequence of corners for us. We need to try and regain those positions back now. But yeah, that's just started with a small mistake, running wide a few corners earlier, and Drugovich was able to get the run. And yeah, we just I wanted to leave him some space as we go up the inside of Aitken, too deep into the corner though. Aitken's going to switch it back, and we rejoin in exactly the same position. But as we head through the first sector into the second, we go up the inside of Aitken, and we manage to get through there. Aitken though might try and come back at us as we're out with two wheels on the grass. Aitken fights back on the inside, and he might just be able to squeeze through here. We're still trying to battle away around the outside, and now he is going to get the run on the exit, but we've got the inside line for the next left-hander. We've been side by side for the entire end of the first sector and into the second, that we've managed to finally gain back that third position we lost that time ago. But anyway, we'll see if we can now close up to Mick Schumacher and Felipe Drugovich as we look at the new strategy option, boxing a little bit earlier than originally planned. I think we might do that to get the undercut on these two ahead of us. I think that could be quite viable. Actually, I was worried when he said that, because sometimes when he says there's a new strategy, it means you broke the front wing. But no, our front wing is fine, and yeah, that is just to get an undercut on the cars ahead. I think we might do that to try and get that time back.
P3, Schumacher just ahead. Push for the position.
But yeah, we're trying to push to catch back up to Mick Schumacher, and as we round the final couple of corners, we weren't really ever able to get there, and we're now going to come into the pits for our one compulsory pit stop for the race today on the new scheduled lap, and we'll hope for a good stop. And we also need to hope that we don't come out in too much traffic, otherwise this undercut will be useless. So we'll see what we can do. To get an undercut in Formula 2, generally you might need 2 laps because of the lack of tyre blankets.
Strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
It really depends on the circuit and the tyre wear. Sometimes the tyre wear is ridiculous in Formula 2, so it's all a bit of a guessing game in terms of strategy. But we've come back out in a lot of traffic right behind Roy Nassani in the Trident. We'll see if we can get a move on him very, very soon. Otherwise, we're going to be held up by all these cars on old tyres, and it's just not going to work out too well for us. Around the outside of Roy Nassani, a bit of a tap there, and we've gone too deep into this right-hander, and we're off the road, and when we spun, and where that is going to destroy any chance we have of getting an undercut, and we are just going to struggle to get points in this race now. That's a good probably 5 or 10 seconds down the drain, maybe more, and now we really need to get a move on in this race, because that is a mistake right at the wrong moment. But we'll see if we can push on and catch up to that group of cars again. But yeah, this was our chance to gain back for some of that lost time. It was going to be difficult with the traffic, but yeah, That was just my mistake. There was a bit of contact with Roy Nassani, but that was before the corner, so I can't really blame him for that. We ran wide on our own, just going too deep into the corner. Speaking of which, we do it again into this first corner. That happened a number of times throughout this race, but it's not really a huge deal at that turn 1. You don't lose a horrendous amount of time by doing that compared to what we just lost before. But we continue on, and as some other cars make their pit stops, we manage to come out and re-emerge in the top 10 still. So we are still in the points, but there's still plenty of work to do. We've got Marcus Armstrong, the New Zealand / Australian, in this race, and we'll see if we can chase him down for some further points. He's on reverse grid pole at the moment, so we'll see if we can overtake him up the inside, and we might be able to know. We've run deep into the corner. Armstrong switches it back, and he will hold on to that position into the final sector. But yeah, we will try again very, very soon, and as you could see in the top right before, we had 2 purple sectors there, so we've got some good pace in this race. We tried to make a move there as we go to the end of the first sector, but Armstrong was able to switch it back. We go back up the inside through the second sector, and we managed to get the move done there ahead of Marcus Armstrong, and now we can try and chase down PK, who was... he seems to qualify very well, but he hasn't had a lot of pace in the races. But this time he qualified down the order a bit, but he hasn't dropped back, so he seems to have some okay pace in this one. We're putting a lot of pressure on though here, and we get a really good exit, and we fly straight past the Brazilian, but too deep into the next corner. We're in the grass again, and PK is able to get that position back, and well, that was a silly mistake at that point. I was trying to just get back to the racing line to take, you know, that line into the corner, but yeah, we just misjudged it all and went off the road. So now we need to go again and try and chase down PK. Once again, we're going to make the move to the outside of the main straight, and this should be reasonably easy to get this move done around the outside here.
Good job.
And we're ahead of PK. He's going to try and keep the foot into the inside here, but we thankfully are able to hold on to the position, but PK not giving up anytime soon.
P7 now, P7.
But moving on now, we need to try and chase down the next car, 6th place Nikita Mazepin in the high-tech, and yeah, we've got a lot of work to do. Big air gap to him, so we need to put in some good lap times, but
Safety car is out.
safety car is out, and that is because Louis Delatraz retires from the race with a mechanical failure, and that will close up that air gap for us. So Louis Delatraz, I think his 2nd retirement of the season due to mechanical issues, so bad reliability for him, has helped us close up the gap. And now on the restart, we'll see if we can make a move on Mazepin down the inside into turn 1, and we will make that move pretty easily actually on the Russian. And now we've got Giuliano Alesi ahead in the HWA, doing a good job in this race. We'll see if we can make a move to the outside. No, not going to try it here. We'll just stay in line and take the low line through there. Mazepin was trying to make the move on the outside of us there. I didn't even notice he was there until the exit. Sorry about that, mate. But yeah, we gave him the big squeeze out there, and well, yeah, no damage to us. I'm not sure if he had damage or not, but we'll go for a look. No, not going to make a move on Alesi here, but it seems like we've got some good pace on this restart. Maybe we're able to keep our tyres in a better window than everyone else. That's not terribly hard to believe, as we try and get a nice good run on the exit here, trying to flow the car through and get sort of punchy exit. Didn't really work out for us. Down the inside into turn 1. Alesi though with the switchback, and we're going to run side by side. No, Alesi manages to get ahead of us there. So we'll see if we can go around the outside here. Not going to make it there. Around the outside of turn 4, you can see the tyre grip advantage that we have, but Alesi is just putting his car in all the right places, so we can't quite make use of the advantage that we have. And yeah, we just are really struggling to pass the Frenchman. And yeah, we just need to try and set up a good exit here. This is probably one of our strongest parts of the track, and you can see it again down the inside of Alesi, but we've overcooked it a little bit. And Alesi with a great switchback there, really amazing to see how aggressively he was able to switch it back and get the move done ahead of us. and Lacey manages to hold on. So well played, Lacey. I was not expecting that. I thought we had that move done at the time, and then yeah, all of a sudden the HWA appears on the inside line. Down the inside though we go, and this time I think we should be able to block him off, cover off the switchback here, and now we can try and focus on the next group of cars. But bad exit there. Lacey would have almost had a look there, but thankfully it was rather short straight, so we didn't have to worry too much. And now through the final corner we're able to stretch away and again shift our focus forwards.
Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage.
But yeah, we actually damaged the car a little bit. I think when Lacey did the switchback and yeah, very aggressively went to the inside, but I think we had a bit of a collision there. I think that damaged the end plate. I didn't actually notice it at the time, and it hasn't had a huge impact on the overall pace. We can still keep up relatively well with everyone, but the left-handers are definitely a little trickier. But anyway, we'll see if we can make a move on Dan Ticktum as we go up the inside into turn 1. We've gone a little bit deep. Will Ticktum be able to switch it back here? Yes, he will. There he is. And Ticktum manages to hold on. So yeah, you can see we just don't quite have the same sort of punch we did before. Round the outside of Dan Ticktum though at turn 4, we pinch him to the inside line, and a bit of a collision there, but we managed to make the move on the Brit and move ourselves up into 4th. And here is the replay of that move, using the banking up on the outside to sort of pull the car around the corner, and that's helped us make that move. Next up is Jack Aitken. So yeah, you can see this damage is not affecting our pace too much, and honestly in driving the car I didn't really even notice it in most corners, but up the inside of Aitken, oh, we just had to back out of that big lock up there from Jack, but he holds on to the podium placing in that Campos. A lot better than what he managed in real life this season, unfortunately. For Jack, I'm not really sure what happened. I was expecting him to be a title contender really, but maybe it was more of a Campos thing. But anyway, we move on, and you can see pushing the limits to the very end of the race, but unfortunately it wasn't enough for us, and we're going to have to settle for 4th position in this one. But Felipe Drugovich is going to take his first race victory in Formula 2. It's a great race for him, and we're going to come across the line.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme
for a 4th place finishing here in the feature race in Zandvoort. Callum Ilott, driver of the day.
Well, that may not have been the finest race in history, but there's no question that was a critical win. And I have to wonder, Davide Valsecchi, just what set them apart from the competition here.
Wow, well, there's no doubt that the race was impacted as soon as the safety car made an appearance. It was so important how the successful team today reacted to this situation. They were decisive and stuck to their strategy, which really helped them take an advantage.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be MP Motorsport picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
So it's Felipe Drugovich who takes his first win of the season. Mick Schumacher gets some of his form going with a P2, and it will be Jack Aitken in 3rd.
After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the driver's table. It's a good result for Yuki Tsunoda, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. Now then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
Let's give it to Felipe Drugovich. That was a quality drive from start to finish. He can be proud of that one.
And here's how things are shaping up in the team's championship. Carlin have extended their lead at the top of the standings. Meanwhile, Prema have improved their position. A strong weekend for them as they fight their way to the top. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Alright, so No points for a lot of our championship rivals in that one. Felipe Drugovich leapfrogs his way all the way up into 4th in the championship there. So he'll be one to look out for in the coming few rounds, I think. He was very, very quick today, as was Mick Schumacher. So yeah, we've got our work cut out for us. But yeah, a decent haul of points in this one. Obviously not as many as it could have been. Just the yeah, it's a little bump with Nasani, and just yeah, just missing that corner and having that spin was what ruined the race today. Of course, maybe we could have got a bit more if we passed Lacey a bit more efficiently. There's the spin after the Nasani bump. But yeah, other than that though, I don't know. We didn't have the pace at the end to chase down Schumacher and Drugovich. They were sort of in their own world at the front there. But yeah, it was just a little bit disappointing. But well, then we actually had a bit of a bump there, I think, with PK. But, speaking of PK, he's going to get reverse grid pole again, the cheeky Brazilian. But yeah, he will be on reverse grid pole, so this is going to be his 3rd start from the front of the grid this season. And well, the previous ones have not gone to plan for him. The first one he dropped down the order, the second one I think he got some damage. So let's see if it's third time is the charm, maybe, for Pedro Piquet. We'll have to see. And there is our absolute sand on a Lacey. But look at that switchback. That is beautiful stuff there. But yeah, unfortunately we've got a bit of damage, I think, in that exchange, or at some point around that time. But yeah, it's I'm still pretty happy with how that race went overall. And it certainly makes the championship more interesting, with more contenders getting involved with the likes of Drugovich and Schumacher now as well. So let's move on to the sprint race.
Preparations on the grid are wrapping up as we brace ourselves for the start of today's big race.
Crofty, what are you doing? I told you to get out. Alex, what are you doing? You should be here commentating. I don't care that it's your lunch break. You need to commentate over the race. Mate, come on.
As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao Alex, it's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive, and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
So we go straight this time to the 5 red lights. No pit stops in the sprint race, and 5 red lights are on. Away we go almost immediately, and we'll see if we can get a good start this time. It's all right. It's not great. Aitken with a blinding start, and he's going to try and find some space. We go around the outside though, and no one is taking this line except for us, and we're going to try and make it work for us up into 4th position off the start. It looks like PK has managed to hold the lead this time. We go around the outside of a Lacey to the inside of turn 3 or 4, whatever this counts as, and we make the move there on a Lacey and up into the podium placings already. Nikita Mazepin holding P2 off the start, but that start was amazing. Just the launch off the line for Aitken was unbelievable. But anyway, we immediately have closed up right behind Mazepin. A little bump there as we're trying to get the run on the exit down the inside into this next series of right-handers. We're just going to back out of that. It was looking all too awkward, as there's not really multiple lines you can take through there and get away with it on a regular occasion. We've battled through there enough times in the last race. I don't really want to take too many more risks at that section of the circuit. I can't really see it going too well for us, but we're up into 3rd immediately off the start, and now we'll see if we can change 3rd to 2nd as we head towards turn 1. We've got a run on Mazepin. We go down the inside into turn 1. We're not quite aggressive enough there though, but thankfully Mazepin sees us coming, and we're actually able to ease our way past on the inside line and take 2nd position. Very gentlemanly there from Mazepin, it has to be said, but maybe that aggression that he's become known for will come out later on But now we're trying to make a move on PK. We had to actually feather the throttle there a bit on the straight. But we're able to get to the outside line here, but with a little bit of understeer mid-corner, and PK manages to hold on as we had to back out of it on the exit as to not run off the road. But now again, trying to make the move to the outside of turn 1, and we'll see if we can get it on this time. We're much closer to the apex this time around, and we're able to sweep around and take the lead of this sprint race. Whoa, what on earth was that? We bounded over the curbs there. That was some good airtime. We'll grab a replay of that. Look at that. Way too aggressive over the curbs, obviously. Here's the onboard with PK. The car just launches into the air. My goodness. That was a little bit crazy, but in recovery from that, we managed to lose the lead of the race. And PK manages to regain the lead. So, yeah, unfortunately, that may have looked a bit spectacular, but yeah, we lost the lead of the race. Now we need to try and chase down PK once again.
Radar suggests some weather is going to hit in around 5 minutes' time, so stay on your toes.
But now it's actually going to rain later in this race. I didn't actually look at the weather indicator. I just went straight to the 5 red lights. That's my bad for not really realizing that was going to happen. I might have put the soft tires on if I knew that it was going to rain. But up the inside of PK, but again we've overcooked it into this corner. We bounce back onto the racetrack, but we're going to pull off and give that position back to PK. We've actually held him up a bit there, and the rest of the field have closed up. But yeah, we will hand that spot back to PK because we're not able to complete the move properly. But we've got the run again to the outside of the first corner. This time we've got DRS on our side, and we'll see if we can outbrake him into the first corner. We do, but very deep there. But I think we just about managed to hold him off on the exit.
We don't think it's going to stay dry for much longer. The rain could come at any moment. Watch out.
But the slippery conditions are coming very soon. And the VSC is out now for Artem Markelov, and the Russian in the HWA is retiring from the race. A lot of smoke pouring out of the engine in that car.
Safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until the green flag. VSC ending. Wait for green.
But yeah, we get underway once again, and I was driving quite slow. I feel like under the VSC. I was trying to maybe get the other cars behind battling on the restart, and we might be able to stretch away because I am not confident about the pace in the rain, as we get a lot of understeer there through the first corner, going too deep into the corner once again, and we get the grass on the exit, and there goes PK back up into the lead. So yeah, if we're not in the lead at the time,
stay with him. He might make a mistake. We could still regain the position.
at the time the intermediates come into use, I don't think we will have any chance of winning this race. So we need to re-overtake PK. We've spun though in the slippery conditions as the rain comes down.
At the moment, the car behind us is lapping faster than us by around 1 second per lap.
It's a bit more than that now, and that has ruined our race. Here's Nikita Mazepin from second place. He had to come to a complete stop, lost a bunch of positions there, and we managed to get going and stay ahead of him. But that was bad. We didn't need to do that in this race, and we've just dumped a good 12 points. Well, no, we're still in the top 5, so actually we didn't lose too many positions, but yeah, second place would have been worth 12 points. We do have the fastest lap, and with the rain coming down, we will hold on to that for the rest of the race if we can finish in the top 10. But yeah, that's really ruined it for us, unfortunately, that spin. And oh, we've spun again. Hope we've managed to hold on to it just about this time, but we lose another spot there, and there goes another one. So yeah, that is Schumacher and Armstrong past us now. But we'll see if we can do some re-overtaking here as we get our act together around the outside of Marcus Armstrong, and we will actually get that position back. Very slippery. You can see just putting the slightest amount of power down. Really, there's just no traction anymore in these conditions. And we're not switching to the intermediate tyres either, so it's very tricky conditions. The slick tyres on a wet track in Formula 2 cars, so they don't have a lot of downforce to begin with, but hopefully we'll be able to hold on to this position as Armstrong gets the run. As we head towards the first corner, we go to the outside line, Armstrong to the inside, but we'll manage to hopefully hold this around, and we'll do just that. and now we can try and chase down Mick Schumacher once again on this final lap. And as we head towards the final few corners, I think the last 4 corners on the circuit, we'll see if we can make a move on Schumacher up the inside, and we'll just about slide on through there and Mick Schumacher and move ourselves back up into 5th position in this race. I think 5th was probably worth 6 points or so, so still worth fighting for as we round the final couple of corners. But after a few times trying, it's going to be Pedro Piquet who takes his first win in Formula 2. Great drive from him in the wet conditions today to hold his nerve and manage to come across the line in the lead. Great job, Pedro Piquet. Take a bow as we come across the line.
Pick up rubber and bring it home.
And it will be P5 for us. .8 for the fastest lap, I guess.
So Charus have won it, and what a great race it was. And Davide Valsecchi, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
The difference was in the strategy. Credit to the driver for sure, but races like this really drive home how much of a team sport this is. They did a lot of work on the pit wall to really make the most of each stint and to make the best use of these tires. But that said, all of that would have been for nothing without a talented hand on the wheel.
Looks like they're on their way out onto the podium now, and what a result this is. And a popular one with the crowd as well. Great stuff to see the Charus team on top here today.
So it's going to be Pedro Piquet who takes his first win in Formula 2. Giuliano Alesi finishes P2 with Dan Ticktum in 3rd.
So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. The lead at the top has come down after a poor result for our points leader. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
Difficult call, but I say Felipe Drugovich. He was committed the entire race, and it's paid off with the result.
On to the teams then. It was a tough race for our championship leaders, who lose ground at the top of the table. Another team that excelled today was Dams, who make further progress up the table. After all this drama, you'll be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
So that is an interesting race in terms of the championship. Alesi now moving up into 2nd position in the championship. Unbelievable. But anyway, other than that though, what is there to say about that? More mistakes, another spin in this one, at the same corner no less. Different situation though. That one we just put too much power down, and the rear tires said nope, I don't want to grip the track with that much power going through me. And that's a strange sounding sentence, but yeah, unfortunately we dropped it again at the same corner. And I said at the start of the weekend that Zandvoort's never been the circuit I've been particularly consistent, and you saw that today. Just running wide a couple of times, and yeah, dropping it at the same corner twice, unfortunately. And both times it was nothing to do with the cars around us. Just one time was just going too deep into the corner, trying to get around the outside of Roy Nassani, and then again trying to get a run. I think it was on Piquet at the time, and just putting too much power down. So yeah, oh well. These things happen, but yeah, we still maintain the championship lead by 17 points, so it's not all bad news. I love that last corner. That camera shot through there looks really cool. But yeah, that just about covers it for this episode. So other than that, not much else left to say. So thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end, and I will see you next time for the next round. I'm not sure where that is. Maybe Spain? It's got to be Spain. Not sure. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.